What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Haps cast. I kind of like Haps. So happy Friday. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Fred show. And I'm going to speak about something similar to yesterday's indie author struggles in marketing, but today it's the indie podcaster. Similar because just like the book business, not everyone has become a podcast. Now everybody has become a podcaster. And just like indie writing, the marketplace has become flooded by hacks. And I say hacks in the nicest way. And you'll understand in a moment. Yesterday, I said everyone has a story, but not every story needs to be sold. Well, podcasting is very similar to that. It's the same. And perhaps it's the pandemic pushing people to it. But more than anything, it's the convenience of recording. But just like writing a book, podcasting is not as easy as hitting just record. You do need some RSS knowledge, marketing knowledge, the ability to get guests, editing software, video software if going the route of webcasting. You need servers to place your shows weekly to the different platforms. But there is cost incurred. There's not a great amount of cost. You could do it on the cheap, but it's noticeable when you do it on the cheap. So, and just like writing, I support anybody who wants to try podcasting. It's a creative endeavor. It's great therapeutically. It gets you out of your comfort zone, puts you in front of the camera or your voice out on audio. So a minute or so ago, I mentioned hacks and almost complained. You probably thought I was going to complain because, yes, the market is flooded, but it isn't the hacks, in my opinion, within the head of Fred, which is my podcast, by the way. You can find it everywhere. We'll get to that. It isn't the hacks causing the marginal or the great unknown indie shows from being seen. The hacks, in my opinion, could actually help the marginal indie shows stand out because the listeners will just stop listening to them because your poor quality eventually is going to turn people off. And then they find you, hopefully. So the listeners will push the weaker shows away. But who is hurting us? In my opinion, it's the famous already jumping into podcasting, and they gain instant following solely based off their prior fame. You got to look at them as the Amazon, the Walmart, and the indie podcaster and author is the mom and pop small business. No one just cannot keep up with their ability to get guests, sponsors, production value. It's all easy for them, easier. And they're not doing all the small things. They're not editing it. That's a word I can't say very easily. Editing. But they do it. So the new rules. I'd like to have new rules. If you're already famous for acting, music, whatever you're famous for, step aside. Let us indie authors and indie podcasters find our fame, or at least help us, because there is plenty of room. Obviously, there's millions and millions of shows out there. There's plenty of room. There's just not enough hours in the day and not enough for us to market. So in ending, if you're famous, you don't need to be podcasting too. Go make another movie. Let us podcast and let us interview you. Jump on our show every now and then. You know, we reach out. I have people out there like Jeff Dwoskin, who's a good friend of mine. We reach out and we put a lot of effort into finding a great guest, somebody of fame usually, to come on our show. And we're both good at what we do with the interview format. And it would be convenient if we were able to do that, you know? So I don't know. It's just one of those things. But that's going to be it for this week, you know? Be sure to jump over to my YouTube channel, find the channel, Ending the Stigma. You could type it in. I believe you can find it in my bio here on Haps, which I love Haps. Life coach Scott H. Silverman and myself really do have a passion for helping others overcome life issues. It's an important show and we love it. But please also find my comedy dramedy show, Within the Head of Fred. It's a complete 180 from Ending the Stigma, but it's fun. It's comedy, mostly. Potty humor does have a place in our society. It is possible to be compassionate human and an asshole, and I prove it every day. Okay, I got to get going. My 5 minutes is just about up. Today's my writing day. Every Friday, I write endlessly, 15, 18 hours. So I need to get back to it. New podcast drops at midnight. Thanks for a great first week on Haps. And I will see you Monday around noon, I believe. So be safe. That's it for 5 minutes of Fred. Be the best version of yourself.